Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How many times we say lie in a day? Did we ever count? Or how many of us around here can say that we have never spoken lie ever in our lifetime? That's a lie there itself, right? Right. Now, as per the sociologists, they conducted a research and they found out that working men and working women, they speak minimum of 3 lies every day. And the same sociologist conducted the research and they found out that if we meet a stranger within first 10 minutes of our conversation, we say 3 lies. For example, I can ask Tammy, how are you feeling, Tammy, today?
Oh, I'm fabulous.
Lie.
Like a cheap rug.
She will say fabulous, fantastic, amazing, but deep down, struggling with work, coming all out in the heat, coordinating, charter process is not happening, not feeling so good. You can ask me, how am I feeling? And I may say, amazing, with tie on, suit on, and temperature rising above, feeling about 100 degree already. No ACs, smiling, but deep down I am burnt. So that's what we do. We tell lies, white lies, big lies, small lies, some lies here, some lies there, some friendly lies, all kinds of. But what we need to realize that the most dangerous lies are those which we tell ourselves. I have been Toastmasters for last 8 years, over 8 years now. And during this process of my speaking journey with Toastmasters, going to different clubs, going to different forums, I realized that I had been telling myself 6 lies continuously for me to become a better speaker. Now, during my journey, I came across a lot of forums. During my professional career, I came across a lot of leaders. During my Toastmaster journey with different conferences, in fact, different continents, right? I started with Asia continent and now I am in Americas. I started with India, Mysore is the city, moved to Bangalore, moved to different parts of country, moved to Qatar, Doha, and then came here. And in this journey, I realized that those 6 lies that I was telling to myself were not making me any better. They were just a hindrance. And during this journey, I realized that I had to see through them. Now, during my story that I will be sharing with you, 6 lies, this is highly opinionated. It's all about me, what I experienced and what I saw through. But at any point of time, if you feel it is related to you, feel free to take it in and make it your own. Alright? Sounds good?
Yeah.
Alright, so first lie that I saw through was practice makes you perfect. I'm a diligent practicer. I practice all the time. I write my speeches, I make my notes, I lock myself in, I sleep, I time myself. Everything is going on in my head. Whenever I have to go for any speech, at the onset, you may not realize that I'm practicing, but back of my head, in my whole ambience, in my whole environment, I'm practicing. Even if I'm sleeping, I'm practicing. Even if I'm listening to something, I'm practicing. Even if I'm driving, I'm practicing. Now, even today, when I came, I wrote all my points, I practiced. I had been practicing for last 2 weeks mentally, for sure. But what I didn't realize over a period of time when I started practicing is that, is it making me any good? What do you mean by practice? Any idea? Anybody? Max, what do you mean by practice?
Saying it out loud.
Okay, what else? Yes, Becky?
I time myself
Time yourself.
and do the speech over and over.
All right. Anybody else? Bill?
Practicing, not only do you say it out loud and time yourself, but you also have to critique. Are you saying it the way that is going to come across the best way? So you should be trying to improve the words that you originally put together.
Perfect. But one element which is missing out here is, for whom are we practicing? Are we practicing for ourselves, looking in the mirror? Are we practicing for inner self, looking in the videos that we have created? Or are we practicing for the wider audience?
Yeah.
Are we not practicing for wider audience? So how that practice can be helpful when you come on the stage? You have no clue whether you will have this kind of podium or table, what kind of space you will have, what kind of audience you will have. You come here and you expect that there will be 50 of people out here, and here you find there are only 10, or other way around. You come here that it's a small club meeting and there will be only 10 people. But then we are here to practice so that we can speak in front of thousands. What I realized, that perfect practice makes you perfect. I couldn't have practiced for this setup. The only way that I can attempt it is come here, speak it, and speak again, and again, and again, and one fine day I would certainly become perfect. So we need to understand, perfect practice makes perfect. Second lies. If I have to participate in a contest, I have to win it the first time. Kim? We have all been there. I had been a participant, I had been the judge, I had been the evaluator, and every single time I have realized one single thing. If I am there participating, I have to win. If not, I'm not sticking around. No way. I'm no way out there. And more importantly, the higher you are on your corporate ladder, higher you are on your perception level. For example, if you have an aura around you that, oh my God, that person is amazing speaker, that person is splendid, more reluctant you would be to lose. More eager you would be to withdraw yourself from the contest. It would be more difficult for you to understand the whole process was about learning and not really about winning or losing.
There you go.
It's not about winning or losing. It was never about winning or losing. It's all about learning. It's all about growing. It's all about evolving and become a better speaker, better person. Have you ever found any speaker who is amazing speaker but a terrible personality?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that people who are amazing speaker, they are amazing person.
Yeah.
That only goes hand in hand. You cannot have other way around. It's all about them faking. That person is faking to become a better speaker or be a better speaker, but not really. Idea is not about becoming good. When I started my journey, it was not about I want to become a good communicator. It was not for me a transformation from a bad communicator to a good communicator. I believe that transformation is much easier. Anybody can become a good communicator. You just need to be clear on what you want to say. the major challenge that you face is about becoming from good to great, going to the next level, reaching highest potential that you may have. Fight is never about leaving others behind. Never. It was never about leaving someone else in the trail. It's always about reaching our own potential. What all we can do. So it's not about winning the first time. It's never about have to be there as the first. It's all about what did we get out of that process. I'm unsure. World champion of public speaking, right? How many speakers have attempted for the first time in their finals of world champion of public speaking and became the world champion? In my opinion, or in my limited knowledge, I have never witnessed any speaker who attempted for the first time, in my limited knowledge.
There's been a few.
There's one.
No, there's
In my limited knowledge, right? But that's a rarity,
Yes.
Ask Lance Miller.
right? That's a rarity. Be it Craig Valentine, be it Dhananjay Hetrachi, whom I always look up to, be it Ed Tate, be it Ramona Smith, right? So it's not about winning in the first time. It's all about being there, being participative, learning the knowledge, learning the process, and then gaining out of it, becoming a better speaker, and in that process, better person. Are we good? So far, so good? Third line. You have to follow all Toastmasters manual to become a good speaker, a great speaker. You have to be competent leader, or now the level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. It's not going to happen. If you follow just the Toastmasters manual, if you just follow your comfort zone, if you are speaking just in the complacency of your club, you are going to be there as where you started from. Always, all the time. Someone asked me one question when I was in my pursuit of Toastmaster professional career, that who are you? Are you an adventurer or are you a tourist? Now, tourists are those Toastmasters who come to meeting every single time, they have their manual ready, they have their evaluation form ready, they have thoroughly written down their speech, but have never consulted with their mentors, have never followed any feedback from the evaluators from the previous speeches, but they are thorough. They are doing speeches after speeches every single meeting. If I follow the previous pattern of our education, they were doing CC, CL, AC, bronze, silver, gold, DTM. But how many of them are really a great speaker, whom you really want to listen to, whom you really want to look up to, right? They are the ones whom you can fall upon. If they have any problem, they can reach out to you, or if you have any problem, you can reach out to them. And they are always good at impromptu speaking. They are always coming out here giving speeches off the sleeve. How many of them are there? Idea is become an adventurer. Follow manual for sure. There has to be a rule, there has to be a guideline. But come out of your comfort zone as frequently as possible. During my CC days, when I was doing my first CC, I used to travel from Mysore to Bangalore, which is about 100 miles, just to attend another club meetings, just to get an evaluation for my speeches, and come back at my home club and repeat those speeches. I used to attend almost every club meetings which are there in that area. Be it an area director or not, but I used to be there for sure. If they have any lack of speakers, I will be the first one. If you don't have, just let me know. I'll be ready with my speech. I for sure went from India to Qatar to US in this learning process. How many times have you stepped out of your comfort zone to learn something or to grow out of your shell? So, third lie, manual speeches are not going to make you a great speaker. Become an adventurer. Now, the fourth lie, which is my favorite, is that if you want to become successful, you need to have options. How many of you feel that I feel very terrible if I don't have options? How many of us feel?
I like 'em.
Right? Now let me tell you a story before I really go into my speech. It's a story about an African tribe. They are still very primitive. And the only source of food that they have is the large antelope which is found in that region. Name is kudu. Kudu. Now they are large antelope, but they are not very fast on their feet as compared to their other counterparts. Now this tribe hunt these kudu for their living. They don't have any other option. So what they do is that they form a group of 4 people. Out of those 4 people, 3 are on their feet walking very casually, and 1 is called as a runner. Right? Are we following? So let's say we have Rhonda, Maya, Tammy, and Bill as those tribe people.
Maya's running.
That I'll decide. Alright, so first day, the first person, he spots that kudu and walks behind that kudu. Walk, 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 walk for 18 hours straight. Now this person is exhausted, take rest. So is kudu. That kudu is also exhausted, 18 hours walking away from that person who is trying to kill it, right? So that also takes rest. Perfect, story is fine. Second day, second person walk after kudu. Walk, 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 18 hours straight walking. This person again sits after exhaustion. Kudu also sits after exhaustion. Third day, third person does the same thing. Now by the 4th day, kudu is kind of exhausted, right? Walking for straight 54 hours, taking rest which is very minimal, and that's the only species. Here we have group of 4, right? Now on the 4th day comes the opportunity of running. Now Bill, how much can you run?
Obviously, not.
I
He's not moving.
I can run for 10 minutes on treadmill, on 2 feet. On 4, another 5. So I can run at the max for 15 minutes. How much can you run?
Oh, I can't do the stairs, brother. It's 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
How much can you run?
I can run for an hour in sleep,
1 hour?
in my dreams.
Alright, so
Way to go, Maya.
alright, so this runner runs after that kind of exhausted kudu for 8 hours straight. And they kill that kudu from exhaustion. There's a term for it. It's called persistent killing or persistent hunting. Read about it. Now, idea is they have that high level of competence, or they have that high level of energy, or the stamina to run after these people, this kudu, right? And make that kudu die out of exhaustion. We cannot do it. Why they can do it? Because that's the only option that they have. Now let's think. Max is very generous. He knows about this tribe and he feels that no, it's very unfair, and here we are so privileged having food at our fingertips, and these people have to run for what, 62 hours kind of thing to hunt one antelope so that they can eat. It's so unfair. So what he does, he runs a charity and generate an amount. With that amount, they set up a food stall. Right? Now we go to these people from the tribe saying that now you don't have to run after that guru, you have food stall, whatever you want to eat, it's readily available. One generation fine, second generation fine, third generation fine. Now what do you think after third generation would have happened to their competence? Increased or decreased? Decreased? Why?
Dependence on the food.
Because they have moved from no option to full option. And that's what happens with us. Be it Toastmaster, be it your career, be it your professional environment, be it your personal environment. If you have an option, you don't really realize your full competence. Or you feel that slacking off is an option, why not slack off? Why not sleep? If I would have had an option to miss out on this meeting, I would have been sitting, playing games, sleeping. If Bill had an option, he wouldn't have made an attempt in spite he came late. Same goes with Max, same goes with Tammy. Right? When we win, when we become a DTM, we feel that now we don't have to go to club anymore. When we have achieved a manual success, we feel that now we can brush off people. We are now the educators and the mentors. We can tell people what needs to be done, but we need not grow anymore. And that's what happens. Success does not mean living in option zone. It means living in no option zone. Live in no option zone if you really want to achieve what you really want to achieve. Fifth, world champions can make you world champion. I joined the classes of Craig Valentine to become a better speaker so that he can kind of write a speech for me. Or at least can tell me how to write my speech. How many of us struggle to write a speech? How many of us struggle to find a title of a speech? Right? So it happens with most of us. That we struggle what to give a speech about. What it should be, what I should be talking about. Why not reach out to Bill, who does not struggle, and borrow one of his writings and deliver that as a speech? If that is an option, we will always go for it, don't we?
Yes.
But the only problem is, it's not my speech.
Right.
I cannot follow the same kind of conviction, or I cannot deliver with the same kind of confidence that I would have if that would have been my content. Because then I would be struggling with, where did I miss my comma? Where did I miss my full stop? Where was that paragraph which I was looking for like a punchline? So idea is, world champions do not make you world champion. Better speaker will not make you a better speaker. It's all about your own journey. You have to go through that journey. You have to write your own speech. You have to deliver it. You have to make mistakes. Trick is not to repeat. Don't repeat your mistakes. Make a new one. Right? That's what happens when we really write our own speech from our own experience, or when we go about telling people about our own conversation. What you learned, how did you make it more personal? Then only your audience will connect with you. Now, last but not the least, I'm still finding more lies, These are just the limited set that I have found so far. I'm yet to look through a lot. But the sixth one is my favorite. I can do it every single thing on my own. If I write a speech, I don't need a mentor. I don't need to listen to evaluators. If I do, then I have to give them credit. Oh, I got mentored by so and so. Oh, that person gave me an input to write my speech. Oh, that person was very helpful so that I can deliver my speech. Well, breaking news, your speech is all about you, and people whom you meet is adding up into your personality. You cannot deliver your own speech by your own self. You have to write it. You have to have your own review. Make it listen to your wife, husband, friend, mentor, mentors, people. Get their input. Not necessarily that you need to have all input included in your speech at the first time, but at least get it evaluated so that you know. For people whom you're writing your speech, as in you're writing your speech for your audience, and if you're not able to inculcate or incorporate those feedback in your speech, it's going to be a flat speech. There's no connect. You will make a humorous speech. You will pause. People will also pause. They will not laugh. So these are the 6 lies that I uncovered and I saw through. First one, what was that?
Perfect
Practice
practice
makes
makes perfect.
Yeah.
Practice makes you perfect. No, what I found out, perfect practice makes you perfect. Second one,
I have to win.
Have to win.
you have to win if you participate in the contest for the first time. Not really. It's all about learning. It's all about growing. It's all about evolving. Third, what's the third?
Follow the manuals.
Manual speeches will make you a great speaker. No breaking news. You need to come out of your comfort zone. You need to be an adventurer to learn, to grow, to evolve. Fourth, success means option. Not really. Start living in no option zone. Your productivity will go high. Your efficiency will increase, and you will realize that you're really growing on a personal self as well as on your professional self. Fifth, world champions will make you world champion. Not really. It's all about you. It's all about what you put in. It's all about what is your input to get the output. And the sixth, you can make it everything on your own. No. We all are socialized people. We all live in a society. We need people's interaction to grow. So these are those 6 lies that I saw through. I hope you found some value out of it. If you feel that you can relate with it, feel free to make it your own, and hope that we all are learning together, growing together steadily and strongly. Thank you. Over.